Good day, world. This is Maria Liberati, and welcome to my podcast, The Maria Liberati Show, where food meets art, travel, and life. Lots of recipes, culinary stories, travels, and more from my Gourmand World award-winning book series and blog, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking. I can officially be called a Philadelphia Italian market baby. You see, I was inspired early on at the age of 4 by my shopping trips to the Italian market in Philly with my grandfather to get fresh breads, cheeses, pasta, vegetables, and fruits for our large, unforgettably flavorful Sunday dinners. Fast forward to a trip to Italy for my modeling career that became a 20-year life-changing experience that included learning old world winemaking, cheesemaking at my family's vineyards and farm, studying the culinary arts, truffle hunting, having my portrait done by a famous Italian artist, working with some remarkable Italian chefs, doing culinary programs at some of Italy's most beautiful resorts and vineyards, creating my book series and trademark, appearing on Italian TV, and having my blog about Mozart featured in the National Museum of Vienna, Austria. And my 300,000 blog subscribers can attest to all this. I'm looking forward to having you as a special guest during my podcast with other interesting, fun, and entertaining special guests where we will be making a connection through food to art, travel, and life. Hope to see you then. Welcome to the Maria Liberati Show, where food meets art, travel, and life. So what does food mean to you? Join me this week as we are sharing some money-saving tips for Easter. You know, Easter is almost here, and Ashley Shoring from the blog Confessions of a Grocery Addict is going to share some more tips with us on how to celebrate Easter and do it in an economical way. So Ashley has become a regular guest, and she's always giving us these wonderful tips. So stay tuned for that interview. And before we get started in the interview, I wanted to share my top 10 tips for Easter and spring, my top 10 food tips. The first one is seasonal eating. Celebrate spring produce like asparagus, strawberries, and artichokes in fresh recipes. So if you go to my blog at marialiberati.com, you will find some really yummy risotto recipes made with asparagus. And there's also a strawberry risotto. Yes, that strawberry risotto recipe that is really yummy also. Number 2 tip is some Easter brunch ideas, and Ashley's going to talk about doing some Easter brunches, but you can do potluck style brunches with dishes like quiche, deviled eggs, and carrot cake. And number 3 is to practice mindful indulgence. So you can savor Easter treats. Easter is, we think about Easter and we think about chocolates and lots of sweets and goodies, but you can savor Easter treats while balancing indulgence with healthy choices. So, you can have a little bit of the treats, but balance it out with some healthy choices, like fresh fruits and vegetables. Number 4 is to spring clean the pantry, decluttering and stocking fresh seasonal staples. And that's also something Ashley's going to talk a little bit about. Number 5 is do-it-yourself edible Easter decorations. You can create chocolate nests or bunny-shaped cookies as dual-purpose decor. So, you can use bunny-shaped cookies as decor, but they're also edible as well. Number 6 is for refreshing hydration. Infuse water with spring flavors like lemon, fresh mint, or cucumber. And my number 7 tip is to promote outdoor activities for Easter and spring. So, you can do outdoor Easter egg hunts, start your gardening, outdoor picnics, eating al fresco when the weather permits and you have a nice sunny day. Enjoy the season. Spring is soon here. And some eco-friendly Easter tips: use natural egg dyes, reusable baskets, and edible gifts to reduce waste. And I definitely encourage you to grow fresh herbs like basil or parsley to elevate your home cooking. Some spring herb gardening. And my number 10 tips is be creative with your Easter leftovers. You can turn leftovers into new dishes like sandwiches or stews. Don't throw away, food just because it's left over. Be sure to try to creatively use it. And sometimes leftovers are more yummy than the original dish that you've made because all the flavors have had time to seep into the food. So don't discount those leftovers. You can make soups, stews, and as mentioned, sandwiches also. And before we get started on this week's interview, I just wanted to tell everyone that I have been having so much fun testing out and reviewing products for our Mother's Day guide that is coming up. Mother's Day is coming up. And I just wanted to give a shout out to some of the products that will be in my Mother's Day guide. And if you go to my Instagram account at Maria Liberati, you will also see some of the products featured on my Instagram account. So let's see. The first product I have is the Campbell Ultra Filtration Inline Filter. What mom really wants for this Mother's Day. It's an easy to install under the sink filter, and it captures 99.9% of forever chemicals. I thought it was a great thing to have because it captures those forever chemicals. So kind of a novel thing to have instead of, getting a shirt or a scarf or something like that. This is a really useful gift. Then there is the Capresso iced tea maker, which is just in time for spring and summer picnics. It's an easy-to-use tea brewer that can transform loose tea or tea bags into refreshing iced tea. The Capresso H2O Glass Select, it's an electric water kettle, and you can use it to heat coffee or tea, and it's cordless. And then there's also the Capresso Froth, which is great for my cappuccino. I love it for cappuccino in the morning. Or if you want to make frothy hot chocolate with just one touch operation, the Capresso iced tea maker, glass H2O Glass Select, and the Froth makes great gifts. Then for some skincare products, we have the Augustinus Bader line of skincare, and it's luxury skincare. So I got to try out the revitalizing hydrogel sheet mask, which is, it really works inside and out. The eye patches that combat dark circles, and the hand treatment that really rejuvenates the skin. That's Augustinus Bader. This is a fun product and useful product for new moms. It's called the Baby Catan. And it's a baby wearing kind of a sling. It's a award-winning Baby Catan, hands-free, hassle-free. Just slip it on like a t-shirt and go for baby wearing. Check it out. It's Baby Catan. The John Indian Coffee Company. It's a female-founded company, and they offer unique Indian coffee beans from small estates. Really delicious and high-quality coffee. And let's see, the Slate Flosser is for anyone who hates flossing. The Slate electric flosser makes oral care easier and more effective. You really have to check this one out, especially for those who don't like to floss. Flossing is so important. So that's a great gift for mom also. And let's see, the Trisha Patel art that inspires intentional living. She has eco-friendly 100% linen tea towels that are luxuriously soft. And the designs are by Trisha Patel. So it has original designs on these lovely linen tea towels. They're definitely beautiful for a table. And then we have the Halen Motion Sense Wave one handle pull down touchless kitchen faucet. Mom will surely love this. It's a touchless kitchen faucet, and she's definitely going to love that. It's by Moen. It's the Halen Motion Sense Wave one handle pull down touchless kitchen faucet by Moen. Dolly Parton wines. I did show this also on my Instagram, and Dolly Parton, who has her hands in many different things, also has wines. And check out Dolly Parton wines. They are produced in California, and I know she has a Pinot Noir, which is absolutely wonderful. I got to try that out. The conversational napkin, it's designed to basically inspire meaningful conversation effortlessly, and each napkin is printed with 43 unique thought-provoking questions. So, try this. If you want to try the conversational napkin, you can try it at your dinner table, especially, when you have a large group or even just with your family. There are unique thought-provoking questions that you can find on these napkins. So the conversational napkin. And those are my products for this week. So hopefully you'll try them out. Let us know how you like them. Watch for them on my Instagram account at Maria Liberati. Or you can also comment. Let us know how you like the products, if you like them as much as I did. And you'll see them in the Mother's Day guide that's coming out at the MariaLiberatishow.com. Discover the timeless secrets of Italian cuisine with a Basic Art of Italian Cooking series by Maria Liberati. That's me. From fragrant basil to silky olive oil, each page is a culinary masterpiece. Taste the passion, embrace the tradition, and create your own masterpieces in the kitchen with my Gourmand World award-winning book series, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking. Buon appetito, and you can find the books on Amazon.com, Kindle, on MariaLiberati.com, and on the publisher's website, artoflivingprimamedia.com. And my special guest, well, she's a regular, is Ashley Shoring, and she's going to share with us some tips on, as she does all the time, on how to save money for Easter. Especially with, wow, what are we doing with egg prices now? Oh my gosh. So apparently they have come down a bit, which is nice, but they are still, they are
way pricier than I remember.
I was told that they came down. So I went yesterday and it didn't seem like they came down all that much, but I guess it might just depend on where you shop.
Yeah, I think that might be the case. I think the last I got them, the cheapest I was able to find was $4.50 a dozen.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because the cheapest I saw yesterday was like around $6.99, $7.99 a dozen. But I did hear they were a little cheaper at some other markets, so I'll have to check around. So
yeah, if you're deciding not to do Easter eggs, I have tried dyeing potatoes, and it's super cute. So if you just find like mini yellow or mini white potatoes,
right,
you can either dye them using water-based food coloring that you paint directly onto the raw potato. If you do that, you don't need very much. Make sure you're using water-based food coloring because gel food coloring never dries. And make sure you're using gloves because your hands will get stained.
All different stains, yes.
And then you'll want to just do like a drop at a time and brush it around and then set it and let it dry, and then you can come back and add more layers if you want to intensify the color.
Great idea.
Some people have, that I've seen, that the dye will rub off a little bit if you handle them a lot. Some people have been recommending that you hairspray it to like secure it, but then to me, you can't eat it afterwards, so that doesn't really make it any cheaper.
Right, no.
So I leave that off. Alternatively, you can dye them in water while you boil them. So if you don't like fake colors, there's lots of natural options that you probably have on hand. Beets and red onion skins will help make red. Yellow onion skins or turmeric will make yellow. Purple cabbage makes a really pretty pale turquoise blue. Blueberries are dark blue and hibiscus is dark purple. And then you can mix and match to make green or orange or what have you. You'll need about 2 cups of any of those add-ins, with the exception of turmeric. You only need a 1/4 cup per 2 cups of dyeing water. So bring it to a boil with 2 tablespoons of vinegar and 2 cups of water, and then cover and simmer for 15 minutes. And if you want more intensive coloring, then pop it in the fridge in the soaking liquid, and that color will continue to
So are we cooking the potatoes? Is that cooking the potatoes in the liquid? No.
So yes. So you can either do the raw ones that you paint on.
Right.
Or if you want to do more of a natural coloring, the soaking doesn't seem to work as well with the natural colors. But if you boil it in the water with the natural colors and then let it steep overnight, then it will take on more of it.
More of a color. Yeah, that's a great idea, because there's those mini potatoes that, that's a great idea.
And I just think it's so cute. And then you can also add a little extra sparkle with edible luster dust or with edible glitter, which is super fun. And those natural colorings work for eggs too, if you are still doing that natural situation. And then other options include, you can buy just like smooth river rocks at a Michael's or whatever, and you can paint those and make them look like Easter eggs. Yes.
Yes.
And then there's always obviously the refillable plastic eggs that you can get at the dollar store.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. They're all good tips, definitely, for those that don't want to spend as much this year on all the extra cost for the eggs.
Yeah. And then as far as like entertaining goes, so you have a couple of options. I recommend maybe doing an Easter brunch instead of a dinner, and that way you can kind of cut out the meaty main attraction and opt for something like a strata, which, as you know, is like a savory breakfast bread pudding.
Yes, that's a great idea.
Super inexpensive because you're using stale bread and some eggs.
Exactly.
And then, you could do quiche or frittata also, but again, the eggs are more expensive, but that strata is going to be very inexpensive. You can then make your brunch tables feel really fancy by having a bread basket with some croissants. Costco has 12 for $6, and they're good. And then some homemade scones or muffins and some jam and butter, and you're set. If you decide to do lunch or dinner, maybe instead of going for something more expensive, like a whole leg of lamb, consider using ground lamb or lamb stew meat to make like a shepherd's pie or lamb burgers or lamb stew. All of that's going to be much less expensive than the whole cuts. And you can stretch those things out with lots of veggies and mashies. And then finally, the last thing to keep in mind around the holidays, this is the time when grocery stores will use what are called loss leaders. So around Easter, that means that spiral cut hams or lamb roasts, they might be doing a massive sale on those things. They might make very slim profit margins or even lose money on the sale of the price of the meat because they're hoping to make up the rest with all of the other things that you're going to be buying.
Yes.
So shop around, find the loss leader that has the cheap piece of meat that you want, and then shop around at other places to get your inexpensive side dishes.
That's a great idea. All great tips for having a fun Easter, but not, breaking the bank.
Which is getting harder and harder these days.
It is. It is getting harder and harder, definitely. Well, that's
and don't
great.
forget about asking people to bring stuff too. I think everybody always wants to contribute, and doing a potluck is fun.
Exactly. That's always fun to do. Have everybody bring something, even if it's just something like little and you do the main thing, or everybody contribute and you're right, you do like a potluck type of a meal. That's always fun too. Great. Ashley, tell everyone your blog also.
It's Confessions of a Grocery Addict.
Yes, great. And
so confessionsofAgroceryaddict.com.
Yes, confessionsofAgroceryaddict.com. And you can find many more money-saving tips there on her blog. Ashley, thanks so much for being here. And I know we're going to see you next month with some more money-saving tips.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, Maria.
Thanks.
Happy Easter, everybody.
Yes, happy Easter. Thank you.
Join me on a mouth-watering journey through Italy with my Gourmand World award-winning book series, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking, which brings you authentic recipes, heartwarming stories, and a dash of Mediterranean magic. Whether you're a seasoned chef or a beginner, these books will awaken your inner food artist. Get ready to say ciao to delicious adventures. And you can find the Gourmand World award-winning book series, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking, at Amazon.com on Kindle and on marialiberati.com and the publisher's website, artoflivingprimamedia.com.
Thanks for listening to the Maria Liberati Show. And thanks to my special guest this week. Hopefully you got some great tips from Ashley's interview. And I just want to remind everyone that you can also find some of the info from today's show at the marialiberattishow.com. And don't forget, you can also find info on the Mother's Day Guide products that I mentioned at the beginning of the show. And just in case you didn't catch that, so I mentioned the Campbell Ultrafiltration Inline Filter, the Conversational Napkins, Dolly Parton Wines, Moen's Halen Motion Sense Wave one handle pull down touchless kitchen faucet, and the Trisha Patel tea towels. They're eco-friendly linen tea towels. The electric slate flosser, John Indian Coffee Company, the Baby Catan, Augustinus Bader Luxury Skincare, and the Capresso Iced Tea Maker, Capresso H2O Glass Select, and the Capresso Froth. So check out those products and let us know how you like them. And also, you can find me at the marialiberattishow.com. You can find me at the Maria Liberati Show channel on YouTube. You can also find me on Instagram at Maria Liberati, on Facebook at Chef Maria Liberati, on Twitter or X at Maria Liberati, on Pinterest at Maria Liberati, on Vimeo at Maria Liberati, and my Gourmand World award-winning book series, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking. You can find that on marialiberati.com or on artoflivingprimamedia.com, or really anywhere books are sold, on Barnes & Noble, on Kindle, on Amazon. And until next time, peace, love, and pasta.